Micah Parsons say, I feel like a competitor at some point. You got to be prideful enough to say, I'm not going to allow this to happen to me. Perfect timing. As soon as I start the stream, it says on the television, Micah Parsons. I feel like as a competitor, at some point, you got to be prideful enough to say, I'm not going to allow this to happen to me. All right. Way to start the show on game day. All right, we're live. What's up, C? What's up, Christy? Good morning, everybody. I was doing something. I forgot what I was doing. That happens when you get old. Happens a lot. Yeah, they're sitting there talking about the Giants. The Giants aren't that bad, ladies and gentlemen. The Giants aren't that bad. Not as bad as we think they are. And that's, I think I said that either to this list this week or last week or yesterday or the day before that. Good morning, Avery. At this point of the season, teams don't know if they're good or bad. So they're all going to give you their best. So it's not like, that's why everything looks weird, because it's literally a week-to-week basis right now, the NFL is. Because on any given Sunday, anybody can win. So when, about halfway through the season, some teams would be like with 1 or 2 wins, they're going to start to, go into their little shells and are like, okay, we suck. And it's going to be like a consensus on what teams are good and what teams are bad, and they will start playing as such. You know what I'm saying? When you become a 2-6 football team or 2-7 football team, you really start to play like a 2-7 football team until something, changes your energy. You get a new coach, or your coach gets fired, or new player to trade, something to get some kind of energy to change what's going on. What's up, Trent? Hey, Callie, it's game day. Game day morning. Fire Jerry. Oh, we wish. Oh, how we wish we could fire Jerry. Begging Jerry to fire Jerry. What is pink? My background pink? It sure is. I just hit a button. Let's take a pink out of there. It's supposed to be blue. Blue. There we go. The nano leaves are pink too. Somebody been in my office. See if I can change these nano leaves to. I like a thunder. Where's thunder at? Because that's not even a rhythm. The rhythm is unplugged. It's not. Oh, it says the rhythm is unplugged. Is that distracting? That's distracting, isn't it? You got me playing with my. We'll just do Tron. Now it says that one's offline. Let me open up the app again. Otherwise, we're just going to have to leave it like that. This Nanoleaf app, the Nanoleaf app isn't my favorite. I'm going to leave it meteor shower. Northern Lights. There we go. Just put it there and leave it there. I took some of the pink out. Levi Kale, what coaches? Yeah, I was going to make that a topic this morning, Levi. Because if we lose this game tonight, I mean, I think all of us are feeling as confident as we can with this game, I guess. But if we lose, I'm not going to be able to talk anybody off of whatever rant or whatever anger thing they're going through, because I might go through it myself. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little scary because, like I said earlier, we're in the part of the season where anybody can win a football game. So you can't go in the football game really saying, I should beat this other team, because this other team is not playing like you think this other team should be playing. You know what I'm saying? The Giants are not playing like we think the Giants are supposed to be played, because they really honestly have a chance, like everybody does right now. So they're not going to play like a 2-9 football team right here in week 4. It's not going to happen. So you're going to get them trying to execute. You're going to get the coaches pushing them. You're going to get a lot that you wouldn't get later on in the season if you face a bad team. That's why the first half of the season kind of shapes the playoffs, and then the second half of the season is like positioning. You know, who you're going to play, how many more games can you win so you can get the division win or whatever. But that's how seasons float out. What's up, Chris? CD and Neighbors watch. Looks like whoever has the better game, their team wins. I know we're watching our defense too, but talking heads were talking 2 wide receivers. Hey, Chris, I was thinking all other things. When I was doing the draft, there was a number of Cowboy fans that wanted Malik Neighbors. A number of Cowboy fans. Can you imagine how ecstatic we would be if we had a 1-2 punch of CD and Neighbors? Can you imagine? And it would be just like everybody else. You just have that money for the second receiver, because he'd be a rookie. You have that money just going over to the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? So you'd just be paying 2 out of those 3. You won't be paying all 3. Man, that would have been just ridiculous. You know, I know the future with Guyton and all that kind of stuff, but man, if that could have happened somehow. 41-30 Giants win. Michael Bateman, I don't think it's going to be that much because of it's going to be weather impacted. And that's the first thing that I got up and I was like, ooh, is it going to be raining? So if it's raining, I'll see how I feel, after the first few snaps or whatever. But if it's raining, that's not going to play in our hands. A rainy football game is not going to play into our hands. It is not. We can't do anything in the rain that you need to be doing, like running the ball and stopping the run. That is necessary in a rain game. And if it's raining, good morning, Vic Greer. Cowboys tagged for Donovan Edwards. Thank you, Mean Mug. Good morning. Who should be our starting run? I guess Rico. Hey, DJ. What's up, Carlos Ruiz? Yeah, no, we can't tank for a quarterback. I'm just catching up on comments. And Martin just found out D-Law has 9 missed tackles. Oh my goodness. Where did I stop? Who should be our starting runner? It should be Rico, because Rico is the only person that has a 10-yard rush on our team. So I guess it should be Rico. I guess we're seeing, we're like, where's Zeke? Where's everybody else? I guess we're seeing Rico is our best running back. Ooh. No, Daniel, I don't think the Giants have beaten Dallas in a long time. I think they said Dak is something like 12 wins. Jerry Jones said, hey, man, don't dank 9,000 breaking news. Jerry Jones is the new head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Don't trip. He has said that before. That has been a quote that he can coach the team. He said that before. So don't trip. Ben Johnson will be a dream of a coach. And that's why I said that if we lose this game, we're going to be talking coach on Monday. I mean, on Friday, because I'm gonna have to do a show Friday morning. But if we lose to the Giants, we're gonna be talking coaches on Friday. Tonight is not going to be easy. Yes, right, William August. We almost came back from the Ravens. Yes. And we're a slow starting football team. Yeah, Guyton was getting cooked, dang. Are you going to be at the game, Sadika? Good job. Good stuff. Take an umbrella and a, what do you call that? Some rain thingies. Good morning, Guido. I speak the real, said never thought I'd see a day when I'm scared to play the Giants. I know. Speak the real. Speak the real, just spoke the real. You know, I can't believe it's been a while since we have had angst before a Giant game. And it has a lot more to do with us than it does the Giants. Good morning, Cam. Good morning, the champ. Is Mike Zingo being blamed on his first year? It takes the defense a minute. So yeah, the Saints game was shocking. That's all I want to say. Where's Dalvin Cook? Well, I don't know when we're going to see Dalvin Cook. I told you Dalvin Cook got smoked by Better Derek. If y'all know who Better Derek is, he got smoked by Better Derek in a race. So I don't know why y'all worried about Dalvin Cook. This team would take one step forward and 40 steps back. Mike McCarthy should have been let go last season. I was with it, but I don't know. Because that Anthony Sanders, this whole season has been a lame duck season, and we knew it last year. So I mean, I just don't think McCarthy is our future, and I think we knew that last year. So I just don't think Jerry knew what to do in the interim. So he's basically an interim coach. Why am I going? I'm going to call him our interim coach, Mike McCarthy, the Cowboys interim coach. That's what he is right now. He's playing for a job. He's coaching for a job, just like an interim coach, right? That's what an interim coach does. He comes in, he fills that spot of coach, and if he does a good job, he can get the job at the end of the season. Ain't that what an interim coach does? That's crazy. Fourth quarter should be given in that formula. It's kind of up tempo. Oh, you're going to be sitting in one of the seats. Good for you, Sadiq. Good for you. Why do you think, Mike, the offense starts so conservative, then open it up later in the game? I feel like the first 6 weeks, yeah, it especially if Cam, especially when we know that we don't have the team that can actually come back, that we shouldn't start conservatively, because if the other team gets off on our defense, which pretty much any team can, that puts us at a place where we're chasing, and we're not a chasing football team. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen this year. How do you only spend $18 million in offseason? Because you don't have any money, dang. You can't buy a mansion when you live in a different kind of house. What you gonna say, Jerry? What you gonna say, Jerry? A trailer? You gonna say, Jerry? Can't buy a mansion if you live in an apartment. What was you gonna say, Jerry? How are you gonna demean people? Who would I like to see the job? I like Ben Johnson. I like anybody. I am a fan of the the Shanahan system, not the Cal Shanahan system, the Daddy Shanahan system. Do think that's how our offense should play, like they did in the fourth quarter. Just spread them out and play kind of hurry up. Look, Jamal, I don't understand. I don't understand how, if I was given this roster in Madden, I don't know how I would attack you other than just throwing the ball at CeeDee Lamb. and hoping everything turns out well, which is not. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Short passing game, more aggressive. I know I don't have the deep ball at all, so that means the whole defense. If I'm playing you, and I know you don't have nobody that can get over the top of me, I'm bringing everybody down. Oh, sorry. I'm bringing everybody down, and we're collapsing on that 10 yards. So it's almost like hard to get any like little short passes in because we'll knock them down or tackle the guy immediately, forcing a 3rd down and 6, 3rd down and 7, something we're used to. So I don't know how you attack with this offense. I really don't. It's crazy how you would let this offense get this way, where it's just a quarterback and a receiver. And I think the only thing, I said it yesterday, I think the only thing when you look at our targets, not our targets, our separation, our wide receiver separation, none of the wide receivers are getting NFL quality average separation except for Jake Ferguson. So maybe we run the offense through Ferguson because Ferguson is the one that's actually open. You know what I'm saying? So throwing the ball to the guy who's open the most makes the most sense to me. Not the guy who, everybody says is the best on the team and he's one of the best in the league, yada, yada, yada. When the numbers say that this guy is open more than this guy, throw it to the open guy and get more attention to the open guy and then feed that other guy that's the monster. That's what I would think. I love Ferg too. Turpin is really up in his game this year. He really is. I'm not a Turpin fan by any stretch of the imagination, but he is up in his game like crazy this year. Can we use Hunter as a fullback in front of our running backs? We got a fullback. It's my boy, Hunter Lipke. I would move CD around if I was playing to somebody Chris Mummage. I would move CD around. I wouldn't have just CD on the outside running straight. That's what they was talking. Dan Orlovsky. How did Dan Orlovsky become a Dak apologist right now? But he was talking about how Dak has nothing, and he was showing how CD Lamb on every play he was running straight down the field. So no, I wouldn't do that. Let's just say that I wouldn't do that. I would have him doing some kind of creative things with his high numbers and route running. That's what I would do. What do the Giants? I don't think the Giants are going to be. I think the Giants will sooner or later fizzle into being the Giants, and then that game will be much easier than this game. But this guy, like the first game of the season with the Giants, it used to be like big time, and yeah. But the Giants, they're on the up and up. I will say that they're definitely coming. The Commanders may be here already. I don't think so, but they may already. They may arrive this season, for sure. So this division might be a little better than I thought. Not really. I'm it's just I like that system that has been in the NFL a long time. That is a running base system. The Shanahan system is a running base because I don't like to base anything on a quarterback because, quarterbacks aren't really that good, none of them. And then if you lose that quarterback, you lost everything. If you base everything on a quarterback, if you base everything on a system, then if that quarterback's not here, you still got a chance because you're running a system. You're not running things because your quarterback can do stuff the other quarterbacks can't. You know what I'm saying? Thing with running backs. You see how the running game was still there was one game. But the running backs are not really suffering in San Francisco without McCaffrey. They're still getting their yards because of a system. But if it was just McCaffrey, getting all the yards by himself, which he can do, when he's off, the backup can't do what McCaffrey was doing, and you would suffer. You know what I'm saying? Don't cuss anybody out. Bernard has vision and strength. Yeah, Lipke can catch the ball. Lipke can catch the ball. That's my boy, man. I'm telling you. Love some Hunter Lipke. Saw a petition for 5,000 fans. Man, it could be more than 5,000 fans. Easy. Who's doing that? Somebody do it can be easy more than 5,000 fans. Long Duke, thank you for the super chat. No, like I said with Lincoln Riley, knows Lincoln Riley and Dan Mullen. It's that Shanahan system that I love. I really do. But that does say that is better than we have. And that would be exciting to me. So I'm not saying no, don't do it. You asked me if I would do it. No, I would go for that Shanahan system. Oh yeah, Dak truly. Somebody said that this morning with all the rhetoric, especially, and it makes me mad with the Cowboy fans who have the rhetoric against Dak or whatever of him. Oh, he just got trash yards at the end or whatever. What was Dak supposed to do at the end to gain your approval? What was he supposed to do? Was he just so sit on the sidelines and mope with CD? He wasn't supposed to fight and try and work and try to get in the end zone and get in the end zone and do something to, at least to get the offense working, to show the offense they can. He wasn't supposed to do none of that. He was just supposed to sit over there in the sidelines and say, if I go in, it's just trash yards, which I don't even understand what. Not in that situation was no trash yards. That situation the Ravens could have lost. So if they're giving up trash yards, then they're a stupid football team because giving up trash yards almost cost them the game. So it's just rhetoric. People just they have their predetermined thoughts or whatever, and they take the information they get on television and they use it and push their thoughts instead of what really happened. I keep moving that thing. Yeah, that Cleveland, the Cowboys and Giants both beat Cleveland and both beat them simply because of their offensive line. Yeah, that Jaden Daniels looks pretty good, man. I hate that. I've always said when those Commanders get a quarterback, it's gonna be a problem. Not this year, but it's coming. Does Jerry make a Amari Cooper type trade if things keep progressing badly this season and fold it up and let Mike ride it? Fold it up and let him ride it out. Why would you dump money into this season, Cam? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I got a little love for Turpin. They died. I got a little love for Turpin. But why would you dump money in this season when you got so much to fix? Yeah, okay, you fixed the defensive line. You still got a problem in the running game and offensive line and need a wide receiver. If there's no place on this football roster where you can throw money and it's gonna fix us. So look, man, ride this thing out, man. Unless it's a big name that's gonna be able to ride out the future with us, then I'm good with it. Carson's not playing tonight. We can use Hunter better than Moose, man. Hunter is far more of a weapon than Moose was, and no disrespect to Moose. Long Duke says, I just think a coach familiar with Dak that knows his negatives and positives will be great, and that Mullen knows Dak very good. Yeah. But the thing about Dak, though, at this part of his career, I think What that's why I was like with Steve Spagnuolo. My ears went up for Steve Spagnuolo, and somebody said Steve Spagnuolo is the goat at he didn't say goat, but great at defensive coordinator, but sucks at head coach. Well, we'd basically just need him as a head coach class slash defensive coordinator because Dak has been running the offense that he's been running, and it's been run well. It just needs to be someone. It needs a young mind in here to tweak it, to make it to put the motions, to get CD from going just down the field, straight down the field, and put some creativity, put some 2025 into our offense. You know what I'm saying? And still work with the same core that he's been working with to this point. Because I mean, come on, the numbers he put up last year was great. You don't want to change everything because that will cause too much, transition if you change everything. But if you get somebody young in here that does that little stuff for our offense, and then get a defensive mind over there that can fix the defense in today's NFL, you might have something. You might have me. It's hard to even care about beating the Smurfs. This is not about us beating the Smurfs, Team America. I think everybody's nervous about us, because of the last two games. But I will say the last two teams we played are much better than the Smurfs. The Saints are better than them by a good piece. In my mind, I'm thinking this. And the Ravens are better than the Giants. In my mind. I don't think I'm really out of pocket. What's up, Quan? I don't know. I think I'm really out of pocket from saying that. Why put everything on your quarterback? Build a system and build pieces around them. Exactly. There's no such thing as a Superman quarterback. That is a television media narrative that they use to sell tickets. There's not a quarterback that actually just picks a team up and carries them on. It's not. The quarterback heroics, you know what they are? It's what Patrick Mahomes did in the Super Bowl. The teams were battling like crazy, and at the end of the game, Patrick Mahomes got it done. And that's the elite quarterback. But you need all those other elements to get you there. Patrick Mahomes his defense basically picked him up and carried him all the way through the playoffs, and then dropped him in the fourth quarter. He said, go ahead, win it for us, Pat. And Pat said, I got this. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of what I was saying yesterday. It's kind of a marriage of a lot of things to create that great team. So why would you just like get a quarterback? That's why I don't understand. It's the way the NFL is built. I don't understand why the worst team in the league goes and gets the best quarterback in the draft when you don't have a team. There's no way this quarterback is going to be successful when your team is horrible. Look at Houston last year. CJ went to probably the best situation by far, and he had the best season. Duh. Jaden Daniels out of these guys went to a pretty decent situation in Washington. Like I said, Washington always had them good receivers. You get your team together. You get it. The quarterback play with that type of team. You might have something. We need other teams to fear more than just CeeDee Lamb and Ferguson. Exactly. And a young weapon out of the draft would be like. And I wanted what's his name from Kansas City, the speedster. Just to have somebody's attention going that way. If he runs that way, you got to send two guys with him, and he still might beat two guys like Rashid Shaheen did with us. Dak shouldn't be throwing more. Mr. Skills, M Skills 32. Dak shouldn't be throwing more than 25 times a game. I agree with that so much. Every time you see a stat line with Dak with 40 plus passes, it's just like, especially 45. I would say 45 plus passes. It's always pretty much an L. We have to win tonight. The next 3 games are going to be tough. Yep. Exactly. Pat has been Patrick Mahomes has been mid for a good minute. He hasn't. You haven't heard them talk about Patrick Mahomes for for season MVP for a while. But what did JJ says? But he rose up when he needed to. Patrick Mahomes rises up when he needs to, and I can't take that away from him. I can't say he's lucky. I can't say his team was doing anything for him. None of that. None of that. Patrick Mahomes makes plays. He jumps around and I mean he runs and somehow magically people can't tackle him. It's just that guy. So like I said, it's a marriage of things, you know. They got a lot. They got a lot of good stuff going on there in Kansas City. Are people really turned off to the idea of Belichick? Yeah, I am. Jesus, I am because I know it doesn't fit in Dallas because Parcells didn't fit in Dallas. The Cowboys fans wanted him out so fast it was ridiculous, and Belichick is going to be just as annoying to Cowboys fans as Parcells was. He ain't gonna tell you nothing. He gonna run an offense that he want to run. It's probably gonna be outdated and boring. You gonna ask for more, and he gonna stay boring because he's gonna be who he is. The press conferences will be magic. They were. I mean, I didn't miss a press when Parcells was coach. I never missed a press conference. They were great, but it's not a good match. I'll just say that it's not a good match. And again, I am for young Madden players. I want something like I said. I want somebody I can look at like, that dude might beat me in Madden. Then I like him. I'll kill McCarthy in Madden. Man, I'll run that cover 3 on him and cut down the man. What? Yeah, Xavier Worthy. That's what I was trying to say. Brian Peters. Thank you. Brian Thomas Jr. was the other one. Yes, because Brian Thomas Jr. Brian Peters, his metrics for catching deep balls was like nasty. He's a deep ball catcher. You know, some people just have the knack for tracking the ball and slowing down and speeding up and being able to like T.O. used to do and Miles Austin used to do. They run and they'd stop and then they explode again to the ball and they just know where the ball is to be able to do that. Yeah, Brian Thomas, I wanted him bad as well. Yeah. Team Breaker says, how is it other teams fix their problems in 1 or 2 off season and it's taken us 6 years since the Rams playout game and we still haven't fixed our run defense? I know. Hey, Singletary looked decent. We'll see tonight how this defense handles Singletary. I would say their running game is better than ours. Mahomes finds ways to win, yes. Not another old coach in Dallas. Shanahan, McVay. All right, let me go over this stuff because today is Chick-fil-A day, so I got to get the kids out of here early this morning. Go Chick-fil-A. Me? I was saying that, Larry. You know, I think a lot of people knew about Washington, though, because Washington, you remember Washington had all those just like pedestrian quarterbacks coming through there, and they were like having a little bit of success. Houston, they had those. Houston with what's the coach name? I can't think of it. D'Amico. D'Amico changed that Houston immediately. I know Chris Gons, the crazy thing. I wonder why that Washington team wasn't like killers. I guess they were just there learning. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of like they were in college. Chris Gons. That's how I look at it. They were in college, and Cal's daddy was the professor, and they were just there learning. Who are my top three coaches? I hope. You know what? I hadn't really thought of it deeply. I know Ben Johnson's on that list for real, but I hadn't really thought of it. I will if we lose. Hey, it will. Hey, it will be number one topic when we lose. Let me bring my topics up. I don't know why I took them down. Oh, I didn't finish. I wasn't talking to you, Google. All right, did it come up? There we go. The Chiefs. My favorite. That's why I was just thinking about when we was talking about Mahomes. Now they might have another thing going for them as well is the referees. My favorite meme that's going in NFL is the game versus who did they play? Was it the Bengals? And the Chiefs guy hit. They said the Chief guy was there on time and it wasn't pass interference. But then the next week, the same type play was pass interference, and yeah, when you see the plays right beside each other, it's kind of like. But I don't think there's no. Of course. I don't think there's no conspiracy or nothing like that. I just think that when you're winning, you get a favorable look. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I've known that since the Michael Jordan days. When Michael Jordan became Michael Jordan, he got called. He got called differently than anybody else. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, yeah, this is my biggest gripe with the NFL because there's so much technology out there that they could get more crisp on calls, and they don't care to because they make money off the drama, not off of who is really correct in this situation. You know what I'm saying? And point that I'm right. I've said this several times. After the Super Bowl with Kansas City and Philadelphia, one of the most controversial Super Bowl endings that I have ever seen in my life. And after that game, they talked about it for just like a week, maybe, just a few days, maybe, and then it was gone. There was no more discussion. There was no discussion in off season. How we gonna clean that up? There was no off. There was nothing. How can we make this better? Nothing, because they don't care to. They just want to make sure they hype up the game properly and make their money off of it. When I was at the Olympics, I saw that 100, and when the race was over, it was literally like it felt like 10 minutes, but it was like 15 to 20 seconds, and they had the results accurate with the measurements, with the technology that they had set up for all this kind of stuff. And all that technology is available. You can have those imaginary lines going across the goal line. You can have all kind of things going on out there at the football field where technology can help us get things actually right. You can have sensors on. You can have all kind of things to help us get things actually right. But the NFL does not even remotely invest anything into getting it right. That's why I know they don't care. Sorry, that went on a little tangent there. But so Kansas City is not cheating. It's just they're getting a favorable look. That's just how it is. If Dak gets time to throw, he should be able to take advantage of the. Yeah, but if he gets time to look, Jeff Williams. It's bad, Jeff Williams, when Dan Orlovsky is out there making excuses for Dak. It has flipped that bad where Dan Orlovsky is out there taking up for Dak Prescott. Hopefully our run game tonight doesn't look like pedestrian, all handoffs, almost feel like throwaway plays. Yep. Team America, one play of 10 yards from Rico. One player, one play. Yeah. The NFL feeds on the drama. They make so much money off the drama. All right. What was the next? Oh, I have to talk about Josh Allen because I am a Josh Allen hater. I that's a sport of mine, hating on Josh Allen. But this season, I got nothing. I got nothing for you. You know, I love Joe Burr, and I could hate on Joe Burr, but I'm not gonna, because that's not. I always said Joe Burr is my spirit animal, and it hurts me to see him hurting like this. But no, I could be going off on Joe Burr. But Josh Allen, they're playing the game exactly how they need to. They're playing the game how they beat the living you know what out of us. Remember that? Remember when they beat us? That's how Buffalo is choosing to play football now, and it doesn't need Stephon Diggs. It needs and it needs a bad attitude, and that's what they have. So he's he's gonna have a successful season. He's gonna have a very successful season. All right, the top games. Let me go top games, and then I'm gonna do the top five. My top five teams so far this season. All right, I am so happy. Ooh, good gracious! Get my face. I am so happy that we are playing Thursday because there are so many games on Sunday that I really want to watch. So many games on Sunday that I really want to watch. So, first Atlanta and New Orleans. I mean, we got to see that both of those two teams have all played all their games very well. You thought Atlanta didn't play well against the Steelers until you figured out, the Steelers is actually a really good defensive football team. They beat Philadelphia, and then they played the champs to the wire. You know what I'm saying? So they're a very good football team, and New Orleans are. You should have you should have seen me. I was standing right there when I watched the two New Orleans players run into each other. And I was like, because they got the first down when they ran into each other. I was like, first down. And then Goddard kept running and kept running and kept running. And it was slow. It wasn't like, oh my God, he's gonna run for the touchdown. It was like, why is he still running? Why is he still running? Right? Somebody stop him. Somebody get it. It was the worst. So, but if it wasn't for that, there's no way Philadelphia would have went down there and scored. I don't care what they think. There's no way they would have went down there and scored. So I want to see that one. I'm really interested in the Panthers versus the Bengals because was Bryce Young really that bad? I was sitting here, taking up for quarterbacks and all this kind of stuff, but when you remove a quarterback and the backup makes your team that much better, or was it Cincinnati? I don't know. Or was it the Raiders playing a horrible game? I don't know. But Andy Dalton is coming back to Cincinnati when they replaced him with Joe Burr, and he's gonna try to beat Joe Burr. Uh, Vikings versus Packers. I'm a Malik Willis fan, and that's the way that he's a good example of how the sports media starts to say stuff about you when like Mike Vrabel didn't like uh, Willis, and Mike Vrabel said some bad things about him, pulled him out of the game or whatever. So the sports media took that, and everybody the consensus was Willis was horrible. Willis is the worst in the NFL. Willis is bad. You don't know how many times talk showing anymore. There we go. I don't know what happened. That was a ghost in the machine. So I guess I was talking about Malik Willis again. Malik Willis is my boy, and I'm glad to see somebody using him the correct way, scheming the game correctly for his talents, because that dude has a cannon arm and he's fast as I don't know what, and if you know how to use him right. Technology ain't it great? I was sitting here, y'all. I ain't touching nothing. Y'all saw me. I was talking about Malik Willis. I ain't touching nothing, and it just went off. But that is my cue of leaving. But then let me get my last two games. I want to see the Commanders and the Cardinals, because if the Commanders beat the Cardinals, then I'm gonna start worrying about them a little bit, because the Cardinals have been playing decent football. Kyler Murray has been playing decent football. All right, they're not a pushover right now. So I'm very interested in that game. And the last one is Buffalo versus Baltimore. Them teams going to beat each other up. And Baltimore is still in a very stressed position, because that's their number one competition for going against Kansas City, and Buffalo has two games on Baltimore already. So if they run into each other in the playoffs, Baltimore is going up to Buffalo if they see each other. So Baltimore has to get this victory. So if somehow they can get on level playing fields and get the same amount of losses as Buffalo, then they can have the home field advantage. So this game is huge. Baltimore's going to be just as desperate as they were last week. I think Baltimore's going to pull it out. But you know why? Because I'm a Josh Allen hater. So I will never be pulling for the Bills, and I will never be pulling for the Eagles. It's just how I live. That's me. And my top five teams going into week 4. Isn't that what week 4? My top 5 teams. Number 1, the Chiefs. Say what you want about the refs or whatever. The Chiefs are 3-0, and they still look like, and they are the defending champions. So deal with it. The number 2 team, the Bills. I said it. Somebody fix that. Baltimore, fix that. Don't make me keep saying the Bills are in my top 5 when I said do my top 5 every week. Okay? Then we have the Vikings. Don't tell me. I'm glad my wife doesn't watch my show. Because I would never give her team's props in front of her face. But the Vikings, and it's simply because of the people they have beaten. The Vikings have done very well at the beginning of this football season, and they deserve to be at least number 3. 4, I'm going with Saints, because of the quality of victories of their 2 victories. Were just like destroying blowouts, and then they had an off game. It felt like versus the Eagles, but in that off game, they still, if they didn't run into each other, they would have had that victory. And the last spot, number 5 team, and they had to get there. They're undefeated, and just one side of the football is the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh Steelers. We're gonna see them ourselves soon. So Pittsburgh has a program going over there with running the ball and playing defense. Yep. Yeah, our division is a complete toss-up right now. What do I think of Schoonmaker? I still don't know yet, Martin. All I know is Schoonmaker is not a weapon. And at his position, I wanted a weapon. I wanted someone. He was billed to us as a red zone weapon, and we have kind of yet to see that red zone weapon. I hope to see that, but I want to see. I needed some kind of other weapon at tight end. Luckily, we have one of the best weapons in tight end already in Ferguson, but we could have used Schoonmaker as maybe a slot receiver or a wide receiver 2. You know what I'm saying? Last year. Yeah, that's what it said. Justin Fields is very good on third down. That's why we're at such a disadvantage, and why I'm so I don't like our offense very much because we don't have the quarterback that can do what Justin Fields does, that Patrick Mahomes does. Patrick Mahomes ran for so many first downs. So many first downs. If he didn't have exactly what he wanted in the throw, he ran. You know what I'm saying? If he wasn't at least 90%, 85, 90% sure that he can make that pass and get the first down, he would run for that first down and get the first down because for some reason people can't tackle Patrick Mahomes. He's untackleable. But yeah, Justin Fields on a 3rd and 3 or a 3rd and 2, and he goes back to pass, you better contain. You better contain because if he gets to the line of scrimmage, he's getting the first down. Yep. All right. Let me go and I will reset this thing up for game, put my scoreboard up,